My mom had a major surgery 2 weeks ago. She's still in the hospital and won't be home for another few weeks yet. I 16 am home with my stepdad and my half-brother and sister since my dad isn't in the picture. But my half-siblings go to our grandparents during the day and my stepdad picks them up after work. Sometimes he will keep them with our grandparents for a few extra hours if he's visiting mom and stuff. My stepdad also has 2 kids from his other marriage. His daughter is 11 and his son is 10. My stepdad's kids treat my mom like shit. They're being trained to act like that by their mom, and my stepdad and her have been in court so many times in the last 5 years. But nothing has changed with their behavior toward mom, and him and his ex still fight often about it. His kids call my mom names, say she feeds them shit, tell her she's fat and ugly, and they gag whenever they know she cooked for everyone. It's gross. They told my mom their mom was better than her in every way and she'll never be good. My stepdad punishes them and all that, but it's crazy how hateful they are to mom. They're also really rude to mom's family. I don't really have any affection or patience for them, so we don't interact. But mom gets it a lot. When my mom was brought to hospital, they said, "Good, we hope she dies." My stepdad looked incredibly pissed at them, and I acknowledge he intervened immediately. But all of this means I want nothing to do with them, and I'm so glad when they're not at our house. I really dislike them. My stepdad wants me to feed his kids anyway. He gets home late and he doesn't want to pay for them to stay with a sitter for an hour or two. He also doesn't want to send them to their mom, which I get. So he wants me to provide some food for them, and I said no. He told me his kids need to eat, and I said it's not my problem, and he does not want me left in charge of his kids ever. He told me they'll go hungry without someone to prepare something, and I said so what? He told me my attitude could use some work. He said he needs my help and he's sorry they said what they said, but I need to understand their mom has poisoned them so much. He told me it won't be forever and I make myself food already, so can't I make some extra? AITA? My landlord got not exactly what he deserved, but it sure was a rough ride for him. I had a landlord who was pretty absent. I lived in this building, a high-rise, like 20 stories for 10+ years. He, despite living next door to me, was absent and cold personally, but cool enough. Rent was good. Our agreement was never bother him about anything unless it's an absolute emergency. Shower head wonky? Go buy a new one. Fridge breaks? Get it fixed. Or dude, just buy a new one. Take it out of what you pay in rent. Lost the receipt? I don't care. I know more or less what a fridge costs. Just take it out of rent. Finally, his wife decides she wants more rent, wants to rent the place out as an office not legal, and wants us out ASAP. I agree to move out a month early and get a month's rent back plus deposit. Complete 180 on their part. The place is ruined. Can't give you shit until you fix all this stuff. 2 main things. My cats did scratch up the leather legs of the dining table, and the pull-up bar made 2 dents in the doorframe of the kitchen, which was quite nice hardwood. They come to me with this list of tons of stuff like, oh, you hang a photo frame here, this tile is slightly chipped. This is the busiest work time of the year for me, but I'm trying to be cooperative. Sure, I got the table legs leathered, spackle the photo frame wall hole. Can't do anything about the door frame, take it out of deposit. Patch the tile, like dozens of little everyday wear and tear things, like you want me to change the window screens. These are all new screens and in nicer shape than when I moved in. But I did them all. I trusted the guy. Gotta get my money. At the end, he should have been giving me $24,000. He gave me $5,000. I still need to use the money to fix all that stuff. If you can't accept the $5,000, I was super pissed off but took the $5,000. Now, people in the building are gossipy. I don't participate, but I did tell this one older lady about my frustration. She told everyone. The wife went from being the star of the mommies group of the building to nobody wanting to talk to her. People shunned the guy too. I originally told them I was planning on moving to another city, but an opportunity came up and I ended up renting a similar unit in the same building. So they thought they could just screw me over and not have to see me, but now they still did. Often. A year later, the office calls me with some question about how to do something with the floor heating. I go, door frame is not fixed, still has dents. I call the guy like, what the hell, man, and he tells me to mind my own business. 5 years later, I see the light at my old place is still on at 3 a.m. Huh, that's odd. I go to check, the door is open. and the place is just trashed, ruined. Cabinets broken, stuff on the walls, lazy landlord, and the dents on the kitchen door frame are still there. So the guy never fixed anything, just kept my money. By this time, smartphones were popular and we had a chat group for the whole building, so about 500 people. I took pictures and posted everything. Apparently, he had also nicked these people's deposit, and there was a huge ruckus when they trashed the place. Cops called. All these people chime in with complaints and pictures. People smoking in the hallways, leaving leaky rubbish outside the front door, videos of people using foul language in front of children, dirty footprints. He got fined a lot for 1, creating a public disturbance, 2, degrading the quality of the living space, 3, illegally renting a residence as an office, and to top it off, the building management wouldn't grant him permission to have workers in to fix the place, so it sat there. Take 1, 5 months rent from me, lose a year's rent. Suck it, bro. AITA for helping 1. I have 2 daughters who have made different choices in life that has led to different economic outcomes. I don't think one is more responsible than the other, but their career paths and choice of partners definitely led to my eldest being much more successful. We recently sold our house and gave about $70,000 to my youngest to help with buying an apartment. My eldest 38F is more gifted in math and is an engineer. She owns her own house and her husband is an anesthesia assistant. They both make a comfortable salary and can afford piano lessons for her son and daughter. My youngest daughter 35F was never the best student but loves helping people. She got her degree in psychology and then married her BF at the time. No one in the family liked her BF due to us finding him to be lazy. He worked in snow removal in the winter but then took unemployment in the summer. But she liked him and didn't listen to our concerns, so we decided to be supportive. They married and she went through graduate school for social work. They had a daughter during her schooling and then he decided he didn't want to be a father. She said it was out of the blue and thinks he found his current girlfriend then and wanted out. They divorced a year later and now my youngest daughter and her daughter has been living in rentals. He does pay child support but only about $300 a month due to his low income, which doesn't even come close to covering daycare. She doesn't make a lot in social work despite having a master's. I moved over there temporarily to be with her and babysit during the divorce. We also partially paid for her rent at that time. We sold our home to downsize to an apartment. We really wanted our youngest daughter to be able to afford a permanent place to live and gave her $70,000 out of the proceeds of the sale for her to buy an apartment. This was when interest rates were still low, so she bought a 1-bedroom for her and her daughter and locked in a good rate. My eldest found out about it and was angry because she feels like we always give her sister money. I told her her sister is struggling and she already has a house. She said it was her own choice to marry a loser everyone told her was a bad idea. She accused us of always financially helping her sister, and I told her if she needed help we would help too. She said we wouldn't because she knows her sister always is the one that needs hand-holding. She also told me between helping her with rent, paying for graduate school, and this that she shouldn't have to raise a hand to help us if we need it because her sister got all our help. I think she needs to realize we will give help to the one who needs it, not just split it down the middle when she is already doing well. The stories never end.